Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting edition of Torah Talks. I'm your host, Rabbi Rabs, and we're back tonight into the House of Rabs. And a big welcome to everybody for coming out tonight. And to my right is my esteemed co-host, the one and only, the very holy Levi ben Abraham, a.k.a. Luke Ford. Say hello.
Hello, China women.
And if you haven't heard the news, this may be our last show together because Levi may be taking the slow boat over to China. Rumor has it, word on the street, is Levi's got a parnasa, which is a livelihood of maybe a big money-making extravaganza in the Southeast Asia. You want to take that away and expand on that?
Yeah, I'm going to be running a whorehouse.
A whorehouse. A brothel, if you will.
A brothel. No, I'm just having fantasies about, I'm not sure there are many Alexander teachers in Southeast Asia, so maybe Taiwan or China or, I don't know, somewhere where I can make a living. So I'm just like fishing on my blog for like, where will people pay for Alexander technique? There are like 60, 80, 100 Alexander teachers in Los Angeles, so maybe I need to go somewhere where there aren't so many. But the Lakewood Rav, the Holy Rav, worries that if I go to China, I faces great peril at the hands of the China woman, because the China woman will latch on to me and deny some fine Jewess my love.
And then you would end up just being like every other reform or conservative Jewish guy who ends up with an Asian babe.
I had lunch with a friend of mine from Australia. He's on his second marriage, and this time he went Oriental. So he's not Jewish, and they seem very...
Oh, he's not Jewish?
Yeah. They seem very goyishly in love together, and they all recommended I go Asian. One thing I do recommend for everyone is that you have an Asian ex-girlfriend that you can turn to for tech support. So I went to an event at the Beverly Hills Country Club for marriage and family therapists on Friday morning to try to rustle up some business. And everyone else had a flyer out on the table, but I didn't have a flyer because I didn't know how to make flyers. I didn't know how to make them pop. So, Motzi Shabbos, I emailed my Asian ex-girlfriend and said, look, here's the contents of what I want to say on my flyer, but I don't know how to make a flyer. So she grabbed an image and stuck it on the paper and scented things this way and that way and sent me back a couple of flyers. Then I went to Staples and printed out 300. You know, it costs 8 cents each to photocopy stuff at Staples? 8 cents each a page.
How much?
8 cents.
And how many did you need?
Well, 300, so I paid like $27 a pound.
Jeez, that's steep.
Yeah, because I'm going to start going around putting them on car windows to advertise my Alexander practice. I know that's kind of trashy. It's kind of like...
Oh, that would irritate me if I came out and you'd stuck one in my windshield.
Well, everything irritates you.
That's true.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'll give it a shot and see how it works. I mean, it does seem like something that, illegal Mexican immigrants do. You see them going around putting things on car windows. But I need the business, but they're like 8 cents each. So I figure for every 1,200 flyers I put up, I need to book at least one lesson to break even.
Right. I don't know if flyers is the way to do it. What about well, I'm not going to say anything. It might. You were saying that you were hitting you were targeting the medical profession, doctors.
Yeah.
What do you call those people?
Psychiatrists.
Those are doctors. No, but I meant like chiropractors.
Chiropractors, doctors. Yeah.
I would like to see you be like, the AT teacher to the stars and work with a lot of the people in Hollywood. You're right here in their back door.
Yeah, I could take the back door to Hollywood. That story's never been told before.
And even if you couldn't get the stars, you have a way in. You could get in through the porn stars and let them take you for the ride.
So to speak.
Yeah, let them introduce you to and move up the...
I'm trying. I'd love to work with porn stars. I'd work with anyone. I'd work with, one of the psychiatrists I was giving a free lesson to at the end of the lesson, because he saw my fringes and my yarmulke. He said, so will you work with anyone? Will you work with homosexuals? Will you work with drug addicts? And I said, of course I will.
Right, and there was something that you did that I thought was very smart, that you advertised that you'll work with 2 people at a time.
Yeah.
As soon as one person pays, like they can bring people with them. And
Yeah.
they all get an extra for
Yeah,
everybody.
you gave me that idea.
Oh, me? I'm just chock full of good ideas today, aren't I?
Yeah, I realized that a lot of women are kind of weirded out about going to a guy's apartment to get an Alexander technique lesson.
Because they're smart.
So if they can bring their boyfriends or their spouses or their friends, they seem to feel much happier. So
Right. And you can do 2 at the same time.
Yeah, one with each hand.
Yeah, well, no, you give the same instruction and have both people.
Right.
You know, it's like, I think that's a great idea.
And it halves the price for them, like they could pay $50 each.
Right, it helps them. They feel more safe, more secure. Doesn't really take any sweat off of your brow.
Right.
You know, and now you just, I think you got to promote that. That should be on that business card. I do 2 for the price of 1.
I put it on my flyer.
There you go.
So it's there. It's on my flyer. But it feels weird. I'm going to like doctors' offices now and giving free lessons and asking for referrals. And so then when I sit home, I'm about to blog. It's like has a chilling effect because I think, I wonder what the doctor I just worked with, who I wanted to send referrals. What if he read this blog post? Like how would he react? And so
Right.
I'm like cutting back on like the racist, bigoted, sexist, intolerant, xenophobic.
You're not like that at all.
No, but I'm scorching you, that tiny little bit of me that leans in that direction. So yeah, I did a bunch of lessons last week, but all but 2 were for free. So I did 2 psychiatrists, 1 psychologist, 1 medical doctor, 1 marriage and family therapist, and then I've got a surgeon at a major medical school tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, free Alexander lessons. So.
Oh, so you're making it happen a little bit. You're getting your name out there.
Yeah, I'm getting my name out there. I haven't gotten any referrals yet from these
Right.
people. They said they've been giving my cards out. So.
Right. Okay, quick shout out to the few people we have in the chat room. We've had as many as 5 pop in and out while you were talking.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I wonder if I bought them.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's hard to say. One of them is, hey, Brett, how's it going? Hey, Malachi. Hey, Liquid Rob. And Faith, how you doing? Good to see you all in there. We have a big show tonight. We have a lot planned. Just hold tight.
So Bleb the Chair wants to know what the hell is the Alexander technique. The Alexander technique is a way of noticing how you respond to stimuli and a way of letting go of those responses that don't serve you. For instance, many people get stuck in the fight or flight reflex. If we had a loud noise going off behind us now, people would uniformly react in the following way. The head would jut forward, it would rotate back onto the neck, compressing the neck and the whole torso and spine. The shoulders would rise up, the torso would be compressed. It'd be like this, which may be a great position to fight or flee out of, but it's not a good position for most of the rest of your life. So some people kind of get stuck in a version of that, or they go into a version of that whenever they get a strong stimulus. So that response does not usually serve you. So I show people how to notice what they're doing and to let go of these unnecessary compressions, tensions, and clenching and pulling down on yourself, so that you can take your full space in the world and be tranquil.
That's. I hope you paid attention to that, Brett. That is AT in 60 seconds or less. Is that it?
Yep.
Right. You want to add anything to that?
No.
Because I wanted to ask you something. Something that keeps coming up into my mind, and I always wanted to bring it by you. I don't know if you said you don't watch the political debates at all.
Correct.
Okay. Because if you ever watch the debates, there's something I've noticed, and I would have never noticed it or thought about it, except for the fact that
I'm always hopping on about it.
You're always banging on about AT. No, but it's a good thing. I've noticed during the debates for the Republican candidates, the Newt Gingrich has a tendency that when he's talking, he puts his head down like this, and he shoots his eyes forward, and he talks, right?
Yeah.
And he's very comfortable just talking into the camera with his head like this, right?
Right.
What do you have to say about that? That's like a decrease, that's a compression of the neck, no?
Yeah, he's compressing his neck. So I haven't paid much attention to these candidates, but I know that historically, like Ronald Reagan and Jimmy Carter were a great contrast, because Ronald Reagan, his head was just floating up. He was free and easy, he was poised, and Jimmy Carter was a big neck clencher, pulling down and clenching and tensing his neck. And George W. Bush had all sorts of weird tension patterns going on, while Barack Obama's got pretty good use. So Barack Obama's pretty smooth, while McCain, has all these deformities. And McCain, it's also interesting to note that McCain is a hothead. Now McCain will lose his temper and he'd go off. He's never been